What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to FBA Capital. And today I'm bringing you guys another daily range case study on none other than NAS 100. And without further ado, let's get right into this breakdown. So, I might say a few things like, oh, Friday or yesterday, because I'm not doing this daily range on the day of, I'm doing it after. So, this is Friday's price action, and today's Saturday, which is the day that I'm doing this daily range case study. So, let's get right on into it. So, we're going to start off by marking up Thursday's previous day's high and previous day's low. We got the previous day's high there. We got the previous day's low. Boom. We're going to get Thursday's Asian session range. So from 18 o'clock all the way to midnight. And then I'm going to get the 12 a.m. open. So one thing you guys might notice a little bit different about the format of this video now is I am currently on my wider monitor. Like the past few weeks or even a few months, I've been doing my just overall recordings on my monitor to the left, which is 24 inches, and that's just been the one I've primarily been using, but I like to switch it up. So right now I'm doing majority of my trading and markups on my ultra wide monitor, which is 34 inches. So that's why the format may look a little bit different, but nonetheless the stuff is still going to remain the same. You just might have to zoom in the little video a little bit more, because if I have, say, my chart like this, I could see so much more data. I could see 3 full weeks of data, but it will be hard to see like the small intraday. So I'm going to try to keep it pretty zoomed in for you guys to notice it. And it makes it so I can have way more room and just see more of what's going on. So the first thing I notice is the previous day's low did it get ran through. The previous day's high did not get ran through. It is still intact up here. And there's going to be a few areas in price that I want you guys to bring your attention to. I want you to pay attention to this high, this low, potentially. I'm not even 100% sure, but you will see why. This high right here, and this low. These are going to be the main points, because overall, not much really happened here, but there is going to be certain areas I want you guys to pay attention to. So first thing we're going to do is look at this area right here. Why is this high important? So for one, this is the high that was cleared the Asian session range at 2:30 in the morning. So that's one reason why this area is important, because at the time, before all of this happened over here, there was a potential chance that price could have had a retracement and then look to continue this overall trend to the downside. That is something that I was potentially looking to happen on Friday. But as you can see, that is not what occurred. So we're going to go over everything that did occur. So this right here, this is the London session high. That could have potentially been the high of the day, which ended up not being the high of the day. And this was created at 2:30. So we're going to annotate that. So we're going to annotate this as 2:30 a.m. London high that cleared the Asian range high. Mic a little closer. So that's why this area in price is important right here. But that's not the only reason. It's going to play a part with this high over here. And why is that going to play a part? So for one, what happened? If you look right here, at what time did this move happen? This happened at 9:45. At 9:45, price ran above, clearing this high that we have here. Just like this. Price ran above, clearing this Asian session, not the Asian session, the London session high. And why is that important? Because it ended up creating this high of the day that we have here at 9:45 in the morning. So we have time of day. And also look where we are price wise. Let's mark up all the important levels near price. We have 13,500 right up here. We have 13,400 right here. We have 13,300 right in here. Then we have 13,200 all the way down here. These are the main areas. And then if you look even lower to where we got that low of the day, all the way down here, you could see that this ended up, I'm going to say 850. You could even put 900 right here. Yeah, I'll just have 900. So we have that 900 level right there. So matter of fact, I'm going to get rid of this level here because this level wasn't really respected, but you can see that this level respected right here at 13,200. So these are the main levels. Now back to what I was saying before. Why is this area important? So for one, this is the high of the day after price ran up and cleared this Asian session high and along with the London session high. And one thing I also want to do is we're going to keep this previous day's high into consideration. Why am I going to do that? Because if we know we had this retracement here, we're going to look for the lowest point in price, which is right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a fib from this high, pull it all the way to here, and we're going to pull it over now to get rid of the 38.20%. The first thing I notice is that right here, let me extend this over a little bit more just so you can see a little bit clearer. Right here in price, you can see that price, we have this move that cleared the highs, tapped into this 70.50% at 13,435, and from here we had the false break of this high that led to price dropping. So we're going to annotate this now. So at 9:45, we got the high of the day along with a false break of London highs. And one thing I've noticed a lot with these New York reversals, like we have the one here, we get a lot of false breaks at the London session highs, and that's when I notice we do get a lot of moves. So we have also the fib short. It doesn't look like we tapped into any big figure levels, but we do have that 13,400 level that did get respected. Even though it didn't get respected right here on this time frame, if you come to say 30-minute or the hourly, 4-hour, look at it this way. So right here is 13,400. You see that on the higher time frame, it did get respected. So even though in the lower time frame, it does look like price didn't really want to hold this level, it did get held on a higher time frame. So that's something you got to keep in mind at all times. Zoom in a little bit more for you guys so you can see everything nice and clearly. So now that we have this high of the day, we have this London session high that got cleared, we're going to look at this area here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the fib. I'm going to draw it from this high. Why this high? Because this is the high of the day and the highest point that we have for this Friday. And we're going to pull our fib from here. But we're going to see if we got a 30.20% rejection, in which we didn't. So this isn't even going to be a move right here. So we're just going to look at it like this. So from here, we didn't have much retracement. Price overall just ran below, came to a specific area, and that specific area is this previous day's low. So the previous day's low was targeted. Just like that, previous day's low got targeted. And why do we target the previous day's lows and the previous day's highs? We do this because that is where a lot of liquidity is. The reason I mark up these highs and lows is because there's liquidity below these lows. And if you also look to the left, we got this previous day's low over here from another day. Then we have this low all the way down here that didn't get ran through. But using these previous day's highs and lows as targets is always going to be beneficial, because if you look on a higher time frame, this is not NAS, but for example, this is US30. This is NAS right here. Where does price always run to? Old lows and old highs. And if you look at the wicks of these candles, there's always one side of the market where price just draws to. So if you look over here, majority of the time price was going for the high, going for the high, going for the high, going for the high, going for the high. And when you get bearish candles, the other way around. So it's just simple understanding of candlestick analysis and where candles try to move, and just the basic understanding of liquidity. It's pretty simple, but like anything else, you always want to use it as a way to improve. You always want to back test it. You always want to just mark up, have the same similar markups, so that when you see certain things happen in price, you see them over time. Because if you're always changing the way you look at the market or changing your strategy, things are always going to change. You're not going to view things the same. So keeping everything as organized, systematic as possible is going to lead you to improving in the future. So after we targeted the previous day's low, price came all the way down and targeted 12,900, where we actually ended up creating the low of the day at 12,837. So that is the low of the day we have at what time? 15:45, which is 2:45. So we got the low of the day at 2:45 p.m. and we created it at this 12,900 level that was being held. So even though it doesn't look like it got held on this time frame, like I said, if you go to say the hour time frame or 4-hour, you can see it's getting held on a higher time frame. So this is, for the most part, what happened today. Not anything crazy. Well, not today, Friday. Not anything really crazy happened, but this would have been a nice move that you could have caught here. I actually was able to catch this long position. I was able to catch this whole long position before price ended up dropping down. So in a way, I did still have a productive, pretty good day targeting this London session high, because when you're looking for reversals like this, you ideally want to target the Asian session high and the London high or the London low. In this case, the Asian session high was already cleared with this London move. So this London high was a target. Ended up getting out here for the most part. I think it was about 80 pips total I caught. So I got in somewhere down here. And for about 80 pips, I was able to collect most of it. I did miss out on a good amount of move, but I did catch a 1 to 2. So if you're in the Telegram, The link is in the description. You would have saw that trade, but if you didn't, I wasn't live on that day, unfortunately. But now let's get the schematic of what happened. So we had the Asian session range. London session came, cleared those highs, came back into the range, came a little bit lower before New York session came and cleared those highs before eventually dropping off and having this overall New York session reversal. So just like that, now I'm going to take this screenshot and I'm going to send it to the Telegram chat. So if you're not in the Telegram chat, make sure you join that. We're active every single day. Even on the weekends, we are very active. So just make sure you join it if you want to overall improve your trading and have a like-minded community of traders. So now with this case study being done, and simple as it is, we're going to get rid of it. And we're going to now overall analyze the whole week. So starting on the higher time frame, these gray borders that I have in here, this is going to delineate where the market opened for the week. So this open is Sunday open. And where did the market open? It opened right here. So this is the market open price for the week. And now we're also going to be keeping our previous week's highs and previous week's lows into account. So we got the previous week high up here. Then we have the previous week's low right down here. So it was pretty close to Sunday's open. We're going to annotate that. So boom, we got the previous week's high. Boom, we got the weekly high up here. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to use that. Let me use the regular line. Previous week's high. Then we got the previous week's low. It's a similar thing to what we do with the daily time frame. We have the previous day high and previous day's low because it's the same thing. You guys got to understand that these markets are very fractal and they move very similar. It doesn't matter what time frame you're on. Doesn't matter any of that because the market moves the same way. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull a fib from this high up here to this low all the way down here. Or that low? Yeah, this low all the way down here. Now, why am I doing that? Because for one, this is the previous week's high. And if we were looking for an overall retracement, we're going to look for the lowest point in the week. And we're going to look for where price retraced into. And in this case, it's not the cleanest. It's not the cleanest fib move, as you can see. But the 38.20% here, if you go to say the 4 hour, it was respected. You can see it never closed above. And this fib is simply being drawn from last week's high to the current week low. And you measure a place in where the market is going to retrace up into. And you can see it all was above this weekly open. So it's the same thing with these daily 12 a.m. opens and the weekly opens. When you're ideally looking to short, you want to find the best potential sell entry is going to be above that open. And when you're looking to long, the best potential long entry is going to be below the open. So as you can see, every time that price was above this weekly open, it gave you a pretty premium price. Meaning, so let me say, for example, when you want to buy a car, you want to buy a car for the cheapest price possible and sell it for the most. So same thing applies with this. You want to sell it at the highest price possible and buy at the lowest price possible. Sell at the highest price, sell at the highest price, buy at the lowest price, buy at the lowest price, buy at the lowest price. It's the same thing. The 12 a.m. open is basically just giving you an example of premium and discounted prices, but that's not what this video is for. Just a little bit of a explanation for you guys. So now we're going to mark up where the market opened. The market ended up running all the way up to this high. This was the highest point that it came to. From here, price ran all the way below. This is the lowest point it came to. And then ended up coming a little bit higher to where it ended up closing for the week. So this is our weekly candle right here. If you go to say now the weekly time frame, get rid of all the charts. You can see this is what we have: the open, the high, the low, and the close. Now, if you come look at it from this perspective, back on the 1 hour, you can see the same thing. And this may be a bar, but this is what it really looks like if you were to look at it as a candle, just like this. This is the full body in the middle, and these are the wicks. But this is just a way of ideally seeing how the market moves. And where did we get the high of the week? We got the high of the week on Monday. And the reason I always mark up the days that the highs and lows of the week are created is because they happen like this all the time. We got the low of the week on Tuesday. So low of the week Tuesday, high of the week on Monday. And from there, price kind of just stayed in this overall range. And the reason I mark up these days is because a lot of the time, these highs and lows of the week happen on every single week. So you can see Friday. What I've noticed is Friday tends to make the highs and lows of the week. In this case, it got close. If price would have came a little bit lower, Friday would have made that low of the week again. But if you look at last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday made the high. Friday made the low. Come over here. This one's kind of equal high, but Monday made the high. Friday made the low. Come to the week before. Tuesday made the high. Friday made the low. Come to the week before. Tuesday made the high. Monday had the low. Come over here. Monday made the low. Friday made the high. Come over here. Tuesday made the low. Friday made the high. Come over here. Tuesday made the low. Friday made the high. Well, Monday made the high and the low. Monday made the high. Tuesday made the low. Thursday made the high. Friday made the low. So it's the same thing happens very often. So if you can figure out when and where prices more than likely to make these highs and lows of the week, you can get a good idea on where to potentially target liquidity. All of these things play a big part, and this video is already getting a little long as is. I didn't want to make it this long, but when I get to talking sometimes, you know how it goes. But this is now the weekly range. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to send this in the Telegram chat. So if you're not in the Telegram, or if you just want to screenshot this video right now, you can. But just pay attention to where the market opens, where the highs and lows of the week are made in relationship with these opens. You also want to draw fibs from those previous week's highs and previous week's lows, and current week highs and current week lows, because you can get areas on where price is more than likely going to retrace to. Coming back to say this 4 hour, look at this. Look at how price respected it and overall stayed below this price and ended up coming lower. And more than likely next week we're going to be reaching for this low. So that's something I am going to be keeping in mind. But that's really all I have for you guys today. I will have my weekly market breakdown coming out tomorrow for this pair. So we're going to see what we can expect this week. But without further ado, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you found it helpful in any way, shape, or form, make sure you share the video with a friend, like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you put the post notifications on so you can see when I go live, at what time, because I don't go as live as much as I used to, because I don't take as many trades as I used to, and I just don't see the point in me just staring at a chart for an hour, 2 hours, even though I know I'm not going to get a trade. So hopefully you guys can understand that, but I will be going live as much as I can regardless, and I will be keeping you guys updated with these daily range case studies because I like doing them. It's like a way I could track my trades, and it's also a way that you guys can learn from them. So with that being said, hopefully this video was helpful. If you liked it, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.